lovely land of Llyn is washed on three sides by the ever-present sea. The pulsing water of the North Atlantic beats against rocks as old as time, and from the gentle hills the land soon slopes and pitches, rolls and dives down to the bobbing boat sea. In coves and inlets the whitewashed cottages nestle almost within reach of the striving waves, and when we cross the peninsula, the waves are there again, washing against massive, fir-clad granite cliffs. The inland villages and farms are surrounded by a lush green countryside of ever-changing aspect and surprising variety, open country and blue hills and secluded wooded valleys to earn our delight. But you are never far from the sea, and the settlements of the people who live by the sea and from the sea, and the call of the restless ocean is heard and answered wherever you wander by hamlet and homestead, or on the broad acres which surround the stately homes of the gentry. But whether you come to this lovely land by motor car, or on foot, or even in a boat, you must visit the capital of Llyn, the town that lies between mountains and sea and sky, the ancient borough of Pwllheli. Granted its charter as far back as 1355 by Edward the Black Prince, who presented it to his friend and companion in war, Nigel de Loharin. The town has maintained its traditions of trade and service ever since. Its famous hostelries, the shops in the quaint streets, and of course the local marketplace, where you can be sold anything from an expensive clothes peg to a cheap gold watch in a variety of persuasive accents ranging from Birmingham to Bolton, from Binghamstown to Bombay. But you are always near the sea and its delights. Even when you are watching through childish eyes the antics of Santa Claus in an authentic Fifth Avenue touch by a well-known local merchant, or the equally red cloak of the leading citizen and his bedizened coterie. The hinterland is well watered and fruitful, and yields a good and plentiful harvest to the eager machines, the 20th century dinosaurs, the time-consuming slaves of the new scientific farming. But the lambs still have to be born in the old-fashioned way, and it still takes a long time to produce young animals like these. But animal husbandry finds its greatest human expression in the hurry and flurry, hustle and bustle of the cattle market at Pwllheli. Here, amidst the cries of the auctioneer, the bickering and the badgering, hard bargains are settled by a shake of the hand, and the animals are driven noisily away to farm or to frying pan. Work over, there is time for leisure and for play. Whether you are young enough in heart to enjoy the hilarity of the fun fair, or the timeless charm of the old-fashioned circus. Or whether you are just old enough for golf, you will not be able to resist the call of the sea. To flavor all these delights, come to Llyn and ramble along its varied coastline. See the unexpected things that make a holiday memorable. And take away an unforgettable picture of mountain and sky and sea. For those who love sailing, there is no coast in the whole of Britain to compare with the coast of Carnarvonshire. Here, for example, sheltered from the wild westerlies by the broad shoulder of St. Tidwell's Peninsula, lies Abersoch, long preeminent as the favourite summer haunt of those who love to mess around in boats. Whereas along the coast at Nevin, you can come across all sorts of people in all sorts of difficulties. But if you take a fast catamaran and travel east, you come to Wales's premier sailing centre, quiet. Here is the proud standard of the Pwllheli Sailing Club. And at Carreg-yr-Imbyll, on the seaward side of the harbour, is an ideal site for a clubhouse. And the keen and enthusiastic members waste no time in carrying their plans to completion. The sailors of the future are well catered for, and there is a school of sailing which is second to none, with a safe inner harbour nearby for practice and for races during inclement weather. There is a spacious dinghy park and a slipway, which is always the scene of great activity during the racing season as the members prepare their craft. So keen are they to get out into the waters of the bay that they sometimes wish that they could move like this. The races are controlled from the bridge, where the members love to sit and watch the trim craft go by. There is no thrill comparable to that which accompanies the sharp expectancy at the beginning of a race. Brain and muscle excitingly applied to win the most favorable position before the off. Towards the end of the season, the elements start to win the battle as conditions deteriorate, giving cause to many a sad tale of enthusiasm prematurely damped. Even the rescue boat fails to put to sea. As the season closes, the boats are cradled in their winter quarters, and members attend to their craft in preparation for another season of pleasurable sailing at the Pwllheli Sailing Club. We have a fascinating story to tell you about one of the greatest feats of building in modern times. A story unmatched since the pharaohs built the pyramids of Egypt, unrivaled since the Chinese mandarins raised a great wall to guard their rich lands from the savage hordes of Genghis Khan, unsurpassed since King Solomon planned the magnificent temple in Jerusalem for the honor and glory of God. It is the story of a present-day Solomon who built a shop in Pwllheli. From the start, planning and organization is much in evidence. And here is our hero in person, inspecting the great site and giving his minions their instructions in his own inimitable style. Soon the site becomes the center of the world's attention. Not only do local dignitaries stand on the corner to watch and admire, but from the far corners of the earth they come, for this is their new Mecca. The task facing our hero is tremendous, and he gets no cooperation from the local police, who complain that his operations are causing a traffic jam. And things are not helped when our hero accidentally puts a pick through a water main. But our Solomon is a man of vision and imagination, and in his dreams he sees the completed work. Despite the difficulties, our hero perseveres. Despite the distractions afforded by well-meaning busybodies, he carries on. But where will he get a window? He looks everywhere. any sort of window. Spring comes, but no window. Summer arrives in its golden glory. The dahlias and the solidago are in bloom. Their petals fade as autumn arrives. And another Christmas comes, but where is the window? Work on the site continues with undiminished fervour. Yet another winter and a spring passes without a window. Our hero is so worried that even he himself is working. But at last the window arrives by helicopter. And now our hero girds up his loins, no more of the simple pleasures of his favourite relaxations. Farewell golf, goodbye sailing, things are sure going to burn from now on. Now Solomon employs all the most modern equipment that science can provide. Automation is his keyword, and he is not above applying a little elbow grease himself. The organization is terrific, and he gets aid from all parts of the known world. What other contractor would think of this? He works man and beast very hard, and the casualties are heavy. But at last the time comes to put the finishing touches, the final embellishments to the great work of art. The owner moves in and dresses the window. Here is the completed work. 3 cheers for the great master builder. This is the Pwllheli Golf Club, where, during the summer, the members come to enjoy their round of golf. But have you ever wondered what these avid chasers of the little white ball do in the winter time, the real winter time, when you cannot even see the grass, and the river is covered with ice, and skating is the only possible form of exercise? Well, here at the Pwllheli Golf Club, they decided to form a choir, and a very able young conductor who has conducted choirs of all nationalities and of all sorts of different voices was engaged to teach them. He chooses his music with care. And wonders how he is going to choose his singers. Will their prowess at golf help him? He decides that as golfers they make good fishermen. The news travels fast that the choir is about to be formed, and the boys are starting to practice the fading baritone. Mi 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 ah, mi 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 ah. The basso profundo, oh talent, and the banker of Seville, Figaro, Figaro. The auditions are arranged and the likely candidates assembled to be put through their paces by the able young conductor. He listens with patience, but he can contain himself no longer. Out! Out you go, he says. Yes, the fading baritone. Basso gerboxo. Passions are aroused, and our young conductor makes many enemies. There are signs that some dirty work is afoot, when the plotters come creeping back to listen to the secret rehearsals. Perhaps that even some strong arm stuff is contemplated. The choir is now so good, would-be scoffers can only creep back and weep with rage and disappointment. The conductor is strict in his training methods and only allows the shortest possible break for drinks.